good evening, and welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Rodney Grimes, people to people, power to power, positive thinking people. It's real talk. Y'all probably seen stuff already going. That's what happens. This is a special. I'm so excited that I have my guest in here, Mr. Tony Suggs, Anthony, but we call him Tony, and his wife Regina as well. You know, God is good. I just love when we get this opportunity to promote one another and to let people see, you know, what's really going on in our community and how things is working. And, you know, so as I told you, we don't fabricate anything, we do real. So I got to make sure that the monitor is turned down. Okay, sweetheart, the monitor is turned down. And I'm going to take a swig of my hot tea so that I can go ahead and start clearing my throat. And I am so excited to have my guest. Now, when they come in, a lot of times everybody starts to get a little nervous in here and there, but that's what happens when you're a celebrity like Tony. So, you know, he get nervous, you know, except when he in the ring, then he change it all up, you know what I mean? Then that's when the beats come out, and it's a whole different game. But I first want to say, welcome, Tony, man, my brother. I appreciate you coming, and I'm going to dap you up too there, Miss Regina. How you doing?
I'd like to say thank you for having us, you know, because since the pandemic, it seemed like I was doing little stuff here and there, going to different spots, speaking, talking about the book, or talking about my life, doing a testimony or something. But since the pandemic, it seemed like it shut everything down. So I appreciate the opportunity, the platform to have me and my wife on. You know, we've been starting to do a lot of stuff together lately. So, you know, to have my wife on and she can show y'all her invitation of me doing the speaking.
well, that's kind of like with when I called you earlier when you was talking about what that means right there on your shirt.
Yes, sir.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yes, sir.
Iron sharpens iron.
That's right. All day, every day.
That's how I do.
And then, you know, it's funny because I see so much resemblance in you and your wife just watching your shows and stuff. You know, date night, and we were joining in with you on the balcony. We saw you saw the date night, but then, you know, we was going out on our little deck evening, you know, so, you know, joining in with y'all. So that was a great thing, you know.
And we appreciate that.
Yeah. So I love it.
So one of the things that we try to let people know, this is not about me. This is not about you. This is about us.
Right.
You know, I say people to people, power to power, positive thinking people. People to people, people are those. Them, us, me, you. Them can be whoever you want them to be. Power to power, the power you possess, the power we possess, the power they possess, the power we seek. We seek that positive power. And when we do that, we become positive thinking people. So that's when you hear me say people to people, power to power, positive thinking people, that's what that's about. I am my brother's keeper. And I believe that I am my sister's keeper, and I believe that what we do is to empower each other. When you wrote your book and you started to share your life, you were now empowering people.
Yes, sir.
You see? So people have to understand, some people would take things and they're thinking, oh, well, he wrote a book about himself, so who the heck do you think he is? No, who do you think he is? That's you. But you know who you are. Right. And when you are revealing things about your life and how you're transitioning and how God has been a blessing to you, then you'll find yourself that you become a tool, and what you're doing is sharing and help building other people, because it's a lot of people that has dealt with the same things that you've dealt with.
You're right, you're absolutely right. And when I wrote my book, that was the main thing I was thinking of, you know. So many people have dealt with the things that I've dealt with in some form or another. Maybe not all, but some, you know, some parts of that book is in everybody's life.
Y'all, just hold a second. I know what that is. Don't worry about it. Actually, what happened is because that's Verizon, it disconnected. So we're gonna just let it run with So, and we'll be able to switch it over.
Okay.
So, now I love when things like that happen. Though. Let me tell you why. See, God is powerful, right? and the devil. Sometimes we look at things and we be like, oh man, it's starting to get depressed and this and that. No, I don't do that. See, what I look at is that God do things to open up people's eyes. When I was talking about people helping us to develop where we'd be able to get different equipment and stuff like that, it costs money to do that.
Right.
So I'm taking this opportunity to say, when my guests come in, they can actually see that we set it up like a studio in my home. Me and my wife have to break this down every time somebody leaves because we like to have our home as a home.
Right.
But what happens is things like that happen. Either the mic don't want to work or something to go wrong, and that's because what we're doing is we're just working off the Spirit of God,
Yeah.
and what I do is I just go with the flow, and everything works out. So with that said, y'all heard that we was trying to broadcast live from another phone so that we could just really get it from different perspectives. But as we say, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do and keep it moving. This is Real Talk Live with Rodney Grimes, people to people, power to power, fathers think of people. For everyone who's just joining in, I have my special guest, Mr. Anthony Tony Suggs and Miss Regina Suggs. Now, let me tell y'all something. Miss Regina is shy. I'm already seeing that right here. She's sitting over here, and she over there tissing up. I'm watching her. She's like, I'm looking at it. Yeah, so why don't we do this for a minute? Tell me a little bit about you. Where are you from?
Alexandria.
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Okay.
Went to GW.
Okay.
Went to TC.
Okay.
Didn't know him, but I went there. We were in the
And we
same class.
class.
He
I
said.
remember her.
Oh my God, that is so
Yeah,
cool.
But she didn't remember me, and I'm like, I'm Tony Suggs, the boxer. You don't know me. Everybody else there, you know me,
But it was a good thing.
Well, it was all in God's time. Yeah. A lot of times that's what we don't realize. We say certain things or think this supposed to be like that. No, it's a process. Excuse me. So, now I want to talk about your book.
Okay.
So, actually, I got it right here, and y'all can see that this is it's well put together, and this is about your life.
My autobiography about my life, because I thought I had a pretty interesting life, and people don't understand the anger and the rage I had inside me that allowed me to punch my way all the way to the #1 spot in the country, #4 in the world, the man to beat for the 1988 Olympics. So people don't understand the anger and rage I had in me that propelled me to punch my way to that position.
A lot of people don't understand that, when boxers, and I used to actually fight semi-professional in the martial arts, so I understand. And I said our stories are similar because I grew up and I read some of your, I didn't read the whole book, but I read, that was Mom. So, y'all got it again. My mom is ill, so she's kind of in a distress mode right now. So I had to my wife's going to call her, make sure she's okay. Again, when things like this happen, I do not look at it in the negative. I just keep it moving. So let's get back to where we were. I grew up in a very dysfunctional environment. It's not my time to talk about it, but I read that you had to deal with that. My father was very abusive with my mom. When I tell you I came up, a lot of people thought I was mean. They didn't know why I was so standoffish, but my father was very brutal in our home. I'm talking, some of us slept with knives, hammers, and some other things, just never knowing what was going to go on. Okay, so when I was reading that in your book, some of the things that you dealt with, where I can relate to that.
Yeah. A lot of us can, but a lot of people don't have the heart
To tell the truth.
talk about it.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that you'll find why today I am so loving. Now, I've been portrayed as a mean person. No. I'm not going to say that I've never abused anybody before. When I say not sexually, but I'm talking about physically. I grew up, my father, man, I'm telling you, my father would wait for my mom to leave and whoop me for something that happened 2 weeks ago. Okay? I'm not going to put my sibling story out there, but when I was reading some of the things that you dealt with, I was like, man, I feel this brother because I know what it's like to be in a situation where you're seeing your parents fight, and they put a fight in you.
And you're a little kid, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, you're too little to get in the middle of it, and you're afraid to get in the middle of it, though, because you might get in trouble.
Yeah.
You might get in trouble by getting a whooping for getting in the middle of a fight, you know. And but my sister was 4 years older, and she'll go out there and try and break it up and be crying while me and my younger brother huddled up in the room, waiting for it to be over,
So saying that, and that's one of the reasons why I want people to take this book. Don't look at the cover as if because he got his arms up saying I'm the champion in the ring. I'm gonna say that you're a champion in life.
And that's why I chose that picture, and I wish I had more opportunities to explain with that picture the transition in life meant on the cover of that book.
People will look at when people share their story, they would have the tendency to say, what makes their story special? What makes it special is that you're not afraid to share it.
Right. And I didn't want to be one of those people because I often heard the graveyard is the richest place on earth because so much valuable information people die with.
Come on, man.
And didn't
I
share
like
it.
that.
And didn't share it, that had the opportunity to bring upon inventions, cures, information to help someone else.
Family secrets.
Yeah. And I didn't want to be that person. I felt like I was confident in who I was. I knew I could fight. I mean, my boxing record showed that. I participated in a sport that a lot of people didn't have the heart to participate in, hand-to-hand combat sport boxing. I seen people quit, get out the ring, didn't show up because of the anxiety, the fear of going up in there and not knowing the outcome of that fight. So I knew I had a lot of heart. I mean, I fought with a lot of heart. I fought with a lot of courage. And I never wanted to brag or put myself out there, but I just knew I had the courage to share my story, and I wanted to share my story to help someone else because I realized so many other people was going through the same thing that I was going through, but so many people didn't have the heart to share it, especially when I was going through treatment, drug treatment, or counseling, and you hear somebody share their story, I'm like, dang, nobody never knew you went through that.
Come on.
And then and then I'm always hearing this from different people. And I'm like, yeah, I've been through that. And then the other people, yeah, I've been through that. And then the other person shit, yeah, I've been through that. But then when they get out, you see the same people out because I done relapsed a few times. So the same people I see in at the sober living unit, the same people I see out. And you'll never know they've been through the things because they stopped sharing it. They shared when they confined and incarcerated. Like you get, like they say, when you go to jail, you get an oil change.
Yeah.
But when you come out, you gotta practice that same behavior that you was practicing when you was incarcerated to keep it going. And when I got out, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to practice what I preached when I was locked up.
Right.
I wanted to take advantage of my time and do my time. I didn't want my time to do me.
Come on.
So many people in that's incarcerated, they let their time do them. They in there, they was a crackhead when they was on the street, but then when they get out, they was like when they was a big crackhead when they was on the street, but when they go to jail, they was this big time drug dealer. They tell them they drive, so I just want to keep it real. I want to keep it 100. That's why I appreciate you and your show because real talk, positive thinking people, you know, and I want to transition everything, the way I thought, you know, the way I think, my actions, you know, I just want to make a difference, you know, and I heard Lynn talk a lot about Lenny Harris, and that's who back pocket I jumped into. So, I mean, I know Lenny's smiling down because, and he may not even realize how many people's lives he touched.
Come on.
You know, and you know.
That's what you said. Didn't you say that to me the other day?
Yeah.
When we was talking on the phone, you said, man, or that may have been his brother too, but we were speaking about Lenny.
Yeah,
Lenny.
I was watching Harold.
Yeah.
Harold said,
Yeah. It's funny that man, God. See, sometimes we be wondering, why did this happen? What was it that caused Lenny to lose his life? You know what I look at? It caused sometimes, like they say, God sacrificed his only begotten son.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lenny was sacrificed for many of us. Because all that he did, we still pushing now. We got something to look forward to. I tell people, when people body dies, I tell them that it's only a shell. It's only a shell that you learn to love well. That's what I tell them. Because the memory and the love of that person never, ever goes away.
Yeah, because Lenny's legacy still live on.
Come on.
You know?
I think about him every time I ride across that Woodrow Wilson Bridge. And I got to go see my mom. I got to go to Virginia forever. And so every time I go across it, going across and coming back, he comes on my mind.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because I remember they were saying something about that's where he threw the phone at, you know, trying to leave some evidence.
Right.
And so, and I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm just telling you, that's what causes me to think of him. But not only that, it's because some of the things I tried to tell people a while back, and I keep saying this, and I try to clarify it when I say we had a love-hate relationship, is because we were so much alike.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people would look and they would think that we were mad. No, we weren't. We were competitive. And he used to always make me want to be better. You know, and believe it or not, I tell you, God is my witness. I don't care what I done. He came. Every event,
Right.
he came. So if he didn't like me, he wouldn't come.
And that's how Lenny was.
Yes.
That's why, you know, a lot of time people hate or get jealous because somebody doing something that apparently it was quite obvious God has called them to do that. Mm-hmm. And then they doing what God has called them to do, and they mad because they not doing that, or they feel they should be doing that, you know. But God has called that man to do that, because if you doing, if a lot of people try to do what Lenny was called to do, they'd just give up, quit, die, whatever, you know. I ain't doing it no more. But Lenny was a soldier, you know. He was on the battlefield for the Lord, you know. And everybody's on the battlefield for the Lord in their way. You gotta find your way and execute the area that God has called you to do, to be.
Yes, Katrina, she says, it's only a shell we live in. That is so true. I live by that. And I really try to get people to understand, you know, I understand that when, you know, people pass away, this is something that's going to happen. When you born, you going to die.
Yeah.
Period. If you was born black, you going to die black. You was born white, you going to die white. You can go to the tan house and change the color a little bit. You can get the melons pulled out of your skin so you can look white or whatever the case may be. But I'm trying to tell you, whatever you was born, the same thing. And believe this, and no disrespect, that's with anything. So you got to know that when people pass away, this is the process that God has for. And we're not in a position to judge it.
Like I say, the two most important dates in the world is the day you was born and the day you die. And the dash in the middle is what you do with it.
That's right. We got, okay, Mark said, the book is a great book. It was real and not sugar-coated. It's a great read. Hey, so you know what? Hey, Mark, and I can also say that too, because what was so funny is real talk. So, men, we have a tendency. You're a fighter, so am I. I'm a Marine. Also, I studied the martial arts, and I'm damn good, right? I would see another brother, and he got hands. So I'm not going to look at him and say, oh, I'm better than him. Me personally, I just say I respect your game.
Yeah.
See, I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of people that say, oh, who the hell? Well, go find out. That's what I tell them. You want to know? Ask them. Or you want to knuckle up? Knuckle up. You want to do what you do. But that's not really how we're supposed to respond. What we're supposed to do is uplift each other. It says, little Danny Glover, my man. Yeah, that's my. Oh yeah, waiting on my shirt. Also,
Oh, you got Regina right here now. The
Hey,
CEO.
Did you see? Did y'all see how he threw it at Regina real quick? He just threw it. Oh
The
my
CEO,
goodness.
Hey, she made the handle stuff like that.
Hey, but guess what? I'm sorry, bro, but I do the same thing. Every chance I get, I say, oh, okay.
Everybody learn to stay in their lane.
It says, I have read this book so many times. That again, that is so good. He's always, he always do. Okay. Basically, okay, Bernadette. She says, when we talk about giving back to the community, you can't leave out Michael J. Him, Lenny went hand in hand. You're right, Bernadette. We don't leave out Michael Johnson. I had Michael Johnson on the show. I have some things down the line that's going to be very powerful for the community. I'm telling you. I got some things that God is putting together that's going to be real powerful. I promise you that it's not to glorify me. It's for me to use, as he used me as a tool, right?
Yeah.
But for us to be recognized to a point that we are soldiers, we're kings, we're warriors. And that's not just a few of us. And Bernadette, what I would say to you and Regina and to my wife Zena, y'all are queens, okay? And y'all have stories too. Y'all have things that y'all have to do and help us to stay in our position. Okay, Bridget, which she says, people are so quick to judge and dislike something about a person because it lacks in themselves. That's so true. That's so true. You know what I remember a person who was very close to me said, who do you think you are, P. Diddy? I said, no, who do you think I am? You ask yourself that. I think I'm Rodney Grimes. See, I know who I am. You say that to me because, for real, that's what you're looking at. You thinking because I'm doing production and doing things like that, so you want to put me in that category, and I take my hat off to you, because guess what? For real, I think once I get that finance, I'm going to outdo Diddy. So, you know, I don't want to beat him. I'm just being who I am. But sometimes people will perceive you in that fashion. So I want to also take this opportunity, Miss Regina, because I'm not going to let you sit up there and just be quiet. So how is it, you know, having your husband that he's written a book, knowing that he's had these trials and tribulations growing up, how does that affect you?
Well, the book, I didn't know, so first time reading it, I helped to edit the book. And so all of that was like a shock to me to take it in.
Okay.
And then I had to go back and read it again. So I read the book 5 times.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess, you know, he was looking for some kind of expression or something, but there wasn't one. I read it in our prayer room.
Okay.
And then when it was time to read it again, I always would pray first,
Okay.
so that I could see what God wanted me to see within the book.
Right.
But it is a good book. I even found myself in the book, and I'm really proud of him for sharing that story. And I don't look at him any different. There's nothing for people ask me that all the time, and even when we met. And I didn't know him, like we said before, and he thought I did, and when I gave him a hug, and it was like we both were separated, we both did, doing our own little thing, and I hugged him, and God said, he's the one. And I said, he's not the one, and they said, he's the one. And I said, well, God, do you know all the stuff that people are saying about him? He's the one.
Right.
And I was obedient, even though people were in my ear and, telling me different things, and I didn't see this person that is in this book, but I saw the man that God showed me that he was.
I love that.
And
I love that.
Yeah, that's where I fell in love with.
Yes.
You know, God showed me who He was,
Yes.
and I've been watching it flourish.
You know, I love that. I love that you said that, because some people have to not judge a book by its cover, right? And that's what they'll do. They're looking, oh, Tony, this, that, but you don't know the inside. When you really want to know, get in the pit of it, because my wife had to go through the same thing with me as well. Okay, Katrina said, were you and your wife married when you were writing? Was it very hard? Were you married when?
She came in at the end. It was already written. Just needed some. You know, I'm not a very good speller, or you know. So she came in and tweaked it for me.
Right.
You know, cross the I's.
Bro.
Cross the T's, dot the I's.
Hold on. Let me tell you something. My wife do the same thing. I'm actually writing a book about my life as well.
Okay.
And so my wife will go through and she'll go back and critique it. And a lot of times I can write something and my wife will come back and say, babe, switch that. The I before the E, or no, that's not we, or put the, you know, and she does that. My wife is a very, very good speller. And so I can be in the room and know how to spell a word but not have that confidence, and I'll call it in, and so I understand your position. So to answer that question, Katrina, he was already writing the book.
Yeah, he was.
It was pretty much finished.
Yeah,
right?
it was.
We
Yeah,
just
it was
edited
pretty
it.
much done, and he kept saying he had a book, and I'm like, yeah. And because this was new, this was, you know, we were newly trying to get this thing together, and so when I finally read it, and I guess he thought, okay, now what's gonna happen? You know, is this girl gonna run or whatever? But I didn't even see that. I just felt it was just up and down. You have to read the book. It's just oh wow, he did that. Looking at this, I'm looking at what God showed me, and I'm like, he didn't do that. He did this. Oh no. Yay. So it takes you up and down.
Yeah.
Up and down. I've read that book.
Roller coaster ride.
I read that book and I sat and I didn't put the book down until I finished reading it.
So this was so funny. So the day that we did the commercial, right?
Yeah.
You asked me, was I really reading? No, I wasn't. I was reading it prior, and when I did, I couldn't put it down.
You can't
Okay.
read it.
So that's the truth. When I was doing it, and okay, I'm getting the cue. It says, strong sister or queen, sorry, Regina, there's not many out there. A few of us do have those special queens. That was from Michael Johnson. And then Katrina followed that, yes, indeed. And Bridget just says, your past will never define your future. It's just a part of your journey. And me and my family are so proud of the man, I think she said, you are today, and much love to your supportive, loving wife. So,
Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you.
Thank you even to Michael J.
Remember,
He can't get serious.
when you want to tell, you want to point over there.
Yeah. Thanks, Katrina.
Everybody,
That's my soldier, my boxer size.
when we be trying, we got a monitor which I got to turn around just a little bit so I can see it a little better. So people, it's real talk. This is what I try to tell you. Y'all see us in real form. So some things can happen. I'm telling you, if a butterfly flying here or something like that, it wasn't staged. It just happened to got in, you know. But God is good, and I just give Him glory and praise, and I thank Him. Let me see. Katrina said she's cleaned it up very well, and God said He's the one. Maria, hello Maria, how you doing, my love? Mwah. Send you peace and blessings.
But on the real, guess how I met her though? She told you the part of the story, but I was selling tickets for Lenny at a gospel show he was having at GW, and she called me because my name was on the flyer and said, "You have any more tickets to the gospel show?" I said, "Yeah, I work up Charles Houston Right." She was like, "Oh, cool, I'm coming up there." She came up there to get the ticket. I'm like, "Oh, I remember you." I'm thinking she gonna know me, right? Because we went to school together at GW.
Oh, you bust this bubble.
I'm like, "Oh, I remember you. We was in class together. We had the same class at GW." And she gave me a hug in her hands went between my back, my
That's
back
his
muscle. She embraced me right.
He got a church hug. Pat, pat.
No, you didn't. It was damn low. It's like, you know, it was deep back then because I was working out. You know,
So she was like, oh, I ain't letting go. I ain't letting go.
yeah, she embraced me, and I'm like, yeah.
Hey, well, you know what's funny? I always say my wife set me up, but that's another story. Hold on, let me see. Maria said, Tony, we started the group back up yesterday with the boys. We're doing it online, Zoom. Also, I read some of the book. Haven't finished it yet. It's a good book. Maria, you are another queen that are always supporting, always doing things. First of all, I truly admire you as a person, and I'm sure that Tony does as well,
Yeah.
because we have to give them that
I
credit.
still call Maria my sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Maria my sister.
Yeah, but you know.
But I think Maria, because she worked at Fairfax Detention Center, and she allowed me the opportunity to come down there and speak to the kids, and share, do an inspirational, motivational spiel with the kids. So a lot of times that's what someone needs.
Hey, so Maria still do that now?
Yeah.
Oh, Maria, so no wonder you're a powerhouse, because you already see some of the people who are in those difficult situations, and so you have that spirit with you as well. What it says it's a must read, okay? Wow, God told her he's the one. Hey, I told my wife, I was even laughing earlier today, I told my wife she put something in my drink when I first met her, because when I first met her, and this is funny, so I don't lie about it, I wasn't really honest with her when I first met her, because I was married, okay? And I came at her, but when I say God is preparing you, because let me tell you what happened. Didn't nobody know that in my second marriage that I was having issues. Not dramatic, but I had issues. I wasn't really happy. One day I was in the house, and I got down on my knees, and I prayed. I'm telling you how real God is. I got down on my knees, and I was praying. I said, Father God, I just need this woman that's going to be like this, going to be like that. And I started just describing how I wanted it. And this is funny. While my eyes was closed, I saw Zena. I didn't meet her until maybe a year later. But I saw her. And when she walked in to this cabaret, I looked and I said, oh my God. So that was really, really a powerful situation for me. We have a call with Miss Lynn. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
We blessed by the best, and now we're really blessed that we got you to call in, sweetheart. How you doing?
Hey, little
I'm
Fee,
doing good.
that's my
Hello.
sister.
Hello, Tony, the Beast and the beautiful Queen Regina.
Hey, Lynn.
Beauty and the Beast.
Hi. I just have a quick question, because Tony knows I read the book, and I have been following him ever since. And I also went to TC and didn't know Tony Suggs till after all the things he went through. So I only know Tony after the things that book entailed. So my question is, since that book, and at the end of that book, and that you met after you did the documentary and all that, and you married Miss Regina, what things are different in your life since you married Miss Regina?
That's a good question.
Thanks,
That's a good
Lynn.
question.
That's a good question. The main thing that's different in my life, I love being with my wife. I love spending time with my wife. I love just, see, a lot of people don't know, I was like a little spoiled. I like to be all up under Regina. I get mad if she ain't touching me while we in the bed. Why you sleeping all the way on the other side? I throw my leg on or something, so. And I love that, I just love, and I never thought I'd be the type of person that look forward to going home, love to go home and to be with her, love to be around her. And I feel the same thing from her, you know. So, you know, she'll go to the store to get some chicken and pick up the bread and forget the chicken because she won't get back home to me.
Oh, that's very nice. That's good. Okay, one more thing, because I'm not going to take all the time. I must say I'm very proud of you. I went to your program when you got inducted into the Hall of Fame, as well as when you got another sports award with Mr. Harold Bell. We went to the District of Columbia and you received another honor. And of course, I was at the premiere. I pretty much was at all your events when you got your awards.
Yeah.
But I want to focus on one other thing. You do a Men of Courage. What made you think of that, the Men of Courage, and what is the criteria to become a Men of Courage? And that's it. And I'm going to hang up and
And Lynn, you hit me with all the bomb questions today. What made me think of Men of Courage? Because I knew what type of man my father was. I loved my father to death. I was a daddy's boy. I wanted to be just like my father. And but when I got older, grown, and had to start making some decisions on my own, because my father always said, I want you to be a better man than me. I want you to be a better man. He like drilled that in my head. So my father was a boxer, North Carolina State Penitentiary champ. I went on to be the champ of the USA, you know. And but I realized as I got older, I had outgrown or superseded anything my father had done or wanted me to be. And I started getting closer to God. I started walking. I wanted to walk more like God in God's footsteps. And then it was so many other people that I looked up to within the community that sowed seeds into me, like Lucky Elliott, Pee Wee Banks, William Chesley, a lot of the guys, Lenny Harris, you know, a lot of the guys that has been honored. Chick Armstrong, you know,
Rodney Grimes.
And I couldn't forget those people, and because they just put so much in me, you know, and they was the type of people that put stuff in you, and they don't even know they putting it in you. They don't know they showing it to you, you know. So that's why they was a perfect example of you always got to watch how you walk, because you never know who's watching you. And that's why I always try to set a good example for the kids at the Charles Houston, within my community, period. Anywhere I go, you know, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I got 31 years of clean. You know, I watch my language. You know, I love on my wife. You know, me and my wife we just got to the point. We kneel on our knees every night to go to bed, you know, and I never thought a day would come where we'll kneel down and pray together. I'll be praying with my wife. You know, you say your prayer, your relationship with God is your relationship with God, mine is mine. But God put us together as one. So we pray together every night, you know. And you know, she sharpened me after a speaking engagement. The first thing I do after a speaking engagement, I looked at her for approval, you know. Yeah. Is she gonna give me thumbs up? You did good, or you sharpen up? And she keep it real with me. She keep it 100, and it's all out of love, you know. And you know, it's constructive criticism, and I appreciate her for that, you know. And that's why, you know, she came up with this iron sharpen iron.
Oh, so that was your idea about the iron sharpen iron?
No, it wasn't my idea. It was God gave it to. It came from through me. It was Him. I was reading. It came out of His book, and I said, "Well, tell Him. Why are you telling me?" So much God gives me, and sometimes we indirectly have to receive. Like sometimes He might, you know, He might tell him something, and He has to deliver it to me. So when I said to him, and I said, I keep hearing iron sharpens iron, and so when I started letting it flow, and he was like, that's it. And I said, that's what you're saying. And I said, and so, to make it plain and simple, iron sharpens iron. It's not just about me and him. We wear it as a couple, but it's what he does to get in the community, because he takes the things that he's been through. This is not my story, Dad. I'm gonna be quiet.
No.
But that's how it goes. That's what it
I'm
is.
sitting here loving it.
Yes, that's
it.
what, you know, and sometimes he doesn't, we all receive things differently. And so I'm a visionary. I have to see it. But I need to hear it along with it. He's totally different. You have to write it down for him. I have to say it, replay it back to him, and it can be the same thing that he said, and I'm saying, but this is the same thing that you've said. So the iron sharpens iron is not, it is for couples, and we've taken it personal to ourselves, and so you usually see, which I'm not dressed today, but you usually see us with it together, but it's what he does, because he takes the things that he's been through and he tries to give someone else that knowledge and to try to pull them in to try to help them. So that's pretty much where Iron Sharpens Iron came from. And the Faith Journey is the name that sells the shirt, but it's the journey that we as a couple have taken.
Don't mind me. Before I got to read what Gail said. I'm gonna get you, Mike. Gail, she said, congratulations on your book. I will read it. Many blessings to you and your wife, old friend. Hey, that is powerful. We appreciate that, Gail. I'm sure he receives that. Michael said, my man, him pet, laugh out loud. But no, I do the same, my brother. Okay, and then Katrina, this is good. Your family, you are good. This is good. You're a family man. You talk about your daughter in the book. Can you share a little?
Yeah. See, and I hope I don't get emotional about this on this spot, because a lot of times I do. But even to the day when I talk about my daughter, because you know, I was raised by my father. My mom left. You know, and I could never understand for the life of me, how can a mother carry not one but two kids inside of her, growing inside of her for 9 months, and then any situation get that bad that she got to get up and walk away from them, and then when she left, she only moved like 2 miles down the road and never came to check on us, and during that time we had a lot of hungry nights. My father was a ladies' man, always ran the street. That's why my mom left him, you know, from running the streets and domestic violence. And my mom never came to check on us, to make sure me and my little brother ate. You know, a lot of times we went to bed, no utilities, and you know, so that childhood hunger thing, that's like real. You know, we were living way down Dale City at the time. My parents moved us from Southeast to Dale City for a better life, but then it was like worse. And then when I had my son and my daughter, you know, I was gonna give them the American dream. You know, I'm knocking cats out. You know, I got opponents changing weight classes to keep from seeing me. You know, they either going up in the weight class or down in the weight class, because they don't want to mess with my weight class. Because, you know, I was scary at that time. I was a Mike Tyson in the lightweight division, and I had my son and daughter. You know, I'm gonna get them the American dream. You know, the big White House, picket fence, the dog. You know, and then and I'm at Colorado Springs Olympic Training Center. One fight for making this dream come true. And then in the wee hours of the morning, I get a phone call from my cousin Tyrone that was stationed in the military in Colorado at that time. Cuz, what's up? I'm getting ready to come over there. Your daughter died. I'm like, man, come on, you playing jokes and games like this in the middle of the night? I'm not, but like, stop playing like that, man. I just, my daughter was like real sweet. I remember my brother used to say, Tommy, man, something wrong with your daughter, something wrong with her. Well, I just get a touch on the leg, she just started smiling and laughing, you know, and she never cried. She was just always smiling and laughing, happy. And, you know, I was going through my rough times at that time, and I go home and my daughter loved me unconditionally. And I just wanted to spoil her, and I wanted to, you know, be her knight in shining armor. I had all these, and I used to tell my ex-wife at that time, my son gonna be yours and my daughter gonna be mine, you know. And I wanted to give her all that, you know, and then
Well, you know what, brother? and this is funny because I'm a spiritual man. I'm sitting here feeling this in me. And you have made your daughter very proud. And part of the reason why you're the man in your day is because of that little girl.
right.
So
I know most definitely.
Yeah. So and I'm saying that just because that's just what God put in my spirit.
Right.
And it's so funny. I can't tell you about your pain. I can't tell you about your struggle with that because I haven't experienced it. And even if I did, yours is yours and mine is mine. A lot of times people don't understand when we have these situations in our life that it's something that's hard for us to really deal with on a daily basis. But what happens? Could you say that?
Iron sharpens iron.
That's what happens. Iron sharpens iron. So you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's what's been happening with you, and that's what you're still doing. That's what this book is about. That's what this whole journey.
This relationship, because the love I wanted to get from my mom, the love I wanted to get from my daughter, it's funny. I get that love from my wife, man. You know, because I had a real mean mother, you know, and then I don't want to like go down on my mother, you know, but I can never remember my mother kissing me and hugging me and telling me she loved me. My mother was meaner than my father, and he was a North Carolina State Penitentiary champ, you know, the man. But my father really had a real soft spot for his boys, and you know, and then a lot of time when I share my story, write your story when you're going through drug treatment, drug program, they be like, Dad, Suggs, how you love your dad so much, but then you mad with your mom?
So me, because I can so much relate to that. You kind of like it's stirring up stuff in my spirit as well because I had to deal with that. People don't know how bad abuse is. They don't understand what it do to you. And I was sharing with my wife and my father. I can tell you some stuff that you wouldn't believe that went inside my home. I remember one time, I said this on air before. I remember one time I was laying on the couch and I rolled over. My father was standing over on top of me with a hammer. And he said, "I'll bash your brains up." Now I'm his son, right? Now my father was in the Korean War. He was in Vietnam. I didn't know my father had all these issues. But I watched my father literally almost beat my mother to death, stab my brother, try to blow our house up. That's another story, but the reason why I'm sharing it right now is because, you know, just feeling that, I understand, you know, that's why, look, when you read this book, you're going to find out, you're going to find a lot of things in here that you can relate to.
Right.
Because it's going to, you know what it's going to reveal? The beast within. That's what it's going to reveal.
And the beast, that beast was inside me. And when that bell went ding, when I got in the boxing ring, I released the beast, you know. And I went out there with the intention. We in a sport that I'm allowed to destroy you.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, my father was North Carolina State Penitentiary champ, so I came up fighting, you know, from 4 years old, getting boxing gloves every Christmas, you know. So, and my father, if somebody came, I had a cousin my size, or somebody came home with me my size, or I was off the playground playing with somebody, my father would come scrap me up, scrap them up. he won't even know who kid is. Y'all bothers. You know what I'm saying?
Is your father still living?
Nah, that's the only way. That's the only way I could write the book. I would never have written the book if my mother or father was still alive.
Right.
You know, and when God brought them home, it allowed me to go ahead to, you know, go ahead and tell the story.
Courage. You didn't answer
Oh.
Lynn about how they could be nominated.
Okay. And I'm going back to Lynn. I'm rewinding a little bit. Lynn said, want to know how can men be nominated to be men of courage. Right now, well, we had to cancel this year, so I still have the same honor people that I was honoring this year that I would be honoring next year, which is Michael J., Edward Jones, Mr. Gibson, and who's the fourth person? Oh, Daryl Mackey. Alright, that's my four for that'll be my four for 2021. Yeah, but the requirement for to be a man of courage, you had to do what you be doing in the community, volunteering, giving back, teacher, mentor, community activist, coach. You have to do what you've been doing in the community for at least 10 years. And you had to be from Alexandria or doing what you do in Alexandria for 10 years. But it's getting so big. This is the 7th year. So it would have been going on the 8th if we didn't have to cancel this year. But it's been so big, we're gonna have to open it up a little more now to other maybe neighboring Arlington and Richmond Highway.
And they send, if you would like to nominate someone, you send the name. You can email it to menofcourage2013@gmail, and we'll take it from there. It's a paragraph. It's a paragraph of just why you would like to nominate. You think that person
why you feel that
should be
person
nominated.
nominated.
And email it to menofcourage2013@gmail.com.
Okay. I see on here, Katrina said, I hear in my spirit this talk show is about to hit worldwide. Get ready. Regina, thank you. And I received that. And I can just tell you, while just sitting here, I started getting flashbacks on quite a few things. I just, it's funny because when you was talking about when you went in the ring,
Yeah.
so this is not about me, but I can relate, so I wanted to share this part. I said, I remember when I was going to fight over at the Verizon Center. And I went to my mom, and I wanted somebody to come with me. Because I wanted my family to be there. And they didn't. And my mother said, well, don't go over there and get beat up. Well, when I went, some of the people, when I never knew who I was going to fight. See, because what we was doing in martial arts, you have different arenas. So it's on your skills, your belt, and your age that determines who you're going to fight. But you never see them. You don't know how they train or nothing. You see them when you just get there. You know what I used to do? Put my father's face on my opponent. Every time. I go, all I would do is stretch. I never let them see my skills, never let them see what I could do with my legs and hands. I never let them see that. All I would do is just stretch. And this one guy, he nicknamed me Speedy. He became an older gentleman. When I come in, he say, Speedy, what ring you fighting in today? And I tell him that I was either sparring or I was going to do caters. And he said, man, I just love watching. But I never told anybody. When I went, first I pray, and then I sit down, and then I'll start thinking about nobody going to hit me. Nobody's going to beat me like that again. nobody's going to ever make me feel less than. And then when I get in there and I get in my stance and they say fight, that's all I do. And what I did at that point, and I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I remember one time it was we sparred. I mean, it was a tournament that took all day long. We was there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was about it was supposed to end at 4, and it was my last fight. I was fighting for world karate, and I never forget everybody had lost their artistic. God's our truth. Everybody had lost their battles and everything, and I was still with one fight. And the trophy off the floor was a big trophy. I wanted that thing. I wanted it so bad. And when I got in to the ring, the dude, you can violate, right? But there's certain things you ain't supposed to do. Like you're not supposed to kick in the shin directly. He kicked me in my shin. So he knew if he kicked me in my shin, it would damage me. And it was they took a point away from him, but he wasn't worried about the point. What he was worried about was taking my leg out. So I ended up, long story short, coming in 4th place. So I came home with a little tiny plaque. But the moral of the story was, I made all them opponents my dad. And that's the way I came back.
I was a daddy boy. I love my father to death, so.
Well, I was just the opposite, man.
Right.
I was under my mom and my aunts, and believe it or not, for real, my brother was my hero. My brother.
I'm gonna be just like my dad, because when I go down, my father from a small town in Eastern Carolina called Pine Tops, on the outskirts of Rocky Mount.
Mm-hmm.
When I go down there, man, I hear all the war stories about my father. Oh, your dad sure could play baseball. Oh, your dad sure could throw a pop bottle. I guess back then there wasn't no guns and knives. They bust you in the head with a pop bottle.
Yeah.
And, oh, man, one time I seen your dad kick 7 niggas' ass, you know, because my father always could fight. And matter of fact, they ran him out of Pine Top because he was bad, little dude. But when he go home, everybody, all his homeboys come to my grandmother's house, sit on the porch and tell stories about my dad. And I used to be out there listening, be proud, be proud to be, Tony Suggs, William Suggs' son. And, I wanted to be just like him, but better. I knew he had some bad things, either bad things, his bad habits, or, traits behind. But capitalized, he was a family man. He loved his family to death. And I see a lot of those traits in me. Like family reunion. I'm mad because family reunion ain't going on this year.
I see, Katrina said, I'm crying reading the part about your daughter. Just hearing you speak on it, my eyes tear up. And then Bridget is saying, will you write another book?
Thanks, Trina. But Bridget, matter of fact, I'm working on something now. I'm not quite sure how to put it out there yet because we haven't quite found the editor, the publishing company that we're gonna work with, but we are out there talking to publishing companies about some projects. So stay tuned.
So I'm gonna jump in there and say something. Remember that we're in a different time. So you do you, don't wait on them. Don't think about a publishing company that whether they proceed. No, I'm just saying just from somebody shared with me. We're supposed to make sure that you're a success.
Right.
That's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Us. We. Let everybody. I already purchased 2 books.
Right. Yeah.
Okay? What I'm saying is, what we supposed to do is help empower you to your success. See, for you to say the publisher, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but when you talk about the publishing company and everything, you're looking for your book to go to different levels.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. To levels that I can't take it.
But you know something? The levels that we should not allow to be stopped if they don't.
Yeah, because
we supposed to do that. We supposed to support each other.
And like what you're doing is, that's why I love your show. That's why I respect you. That's why I support you any way I can. you know, and I love what you do, but sometimes like in my situation, I sold 2,000 books out the trunk of my car, you know, and when I was working with another publishing company, even though my book was self-published, you know, I allowed this other young lady to publish my book. I'm gonna put it on Amazon and Kindle and ebook and all this stuff, and I'm getting a $21 check every 3 months, every quarter. I mean, that wasn't,
Right.
you know, when I can sell 2,000 out the trunk of my car.
So that's my point I wanted to make.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in the music business, several times I was talking to different people who have established themselves and had success in the business, and a lot of them said that they found that success out of the trunk of their car instead of going to the people. But my point I want to make to all our listeners and for everyone that will see this even after, go and just support the book. I don't care whether you read it or not. The fact is for his success, it's my success. You see, people, we have a tendency to look and say, why should I see him riding in a Cadillac when I can't get one, or a Mercedes? Well, you know something? You don't realize this, but the more that you see us riding, that's more of an opportunity for you to get one too. For each one of us that we build one, it takes one to teach one. It takes us to keep pushing. I'm going to be honest with you. Tony wasn't my favorite person in the world. I didn't even know him. So when I say that, but this is what I'm saying. So when I met him, you know, I used to hear, you know, Tony Suggs, man, oh, he can
You used to develop my pictures.
No, I know, wait a minute. No, hold on, I'm talking about before then. I'm talking before then. Then, you know, they would say, oh, Tony Suggs, man, you know, they were talking about you as a hell of a fighter, right? And so I always considered that I was too. So to me, I was like, yo, okay, and, you know, but my point I wanted to make is that I was trying to judge a book by the cover, not knowing you. The more and more I got to know you, the more and more I start seeing what you was doing, and more and more, then I start to read you. Not your book, I'm saying read you as a person. And that's when I realized something, that it was important for me to make sure that I keep myself above water, don't do anything negative that's going to get me locked up, keep trying to be a positive influence, because I got actually 2 biological sons, and I got 2 they stepsons. I love them all, but I got 4 boys.
Yeah.
So, you know, I try to make sure that I conduct myself accordingly to make sure that they live as men. But I said all that to say, not to downplay you. It's just that I want people to know that we have to keep empowering you, and we got to take what everybody may have over here and over there, let it be there, but let us lift you up. And we share your story because your story is so much like so many other people.
Right.
And so we don't know that your story may save somebody's life.
And then I feel like my book was serving its purpose when when one of the kids come home from Landmark Detention Center and had one of my nieces, because my younger brother got locked up for murder, doing 30 years, and when he got locked up, his baby girl was what, 7, 8 years old, and he had 5 girls all together. And I remember somebody telling me one time, Suggs, God might have took your one daughter, but he gave you 5 more. Because my brother's 5 daughters needed a father figure of what a man's supposed to be, what a man's supposed to look like. You know, so I did my best to be that man for my nieces, to show them so they just won't settle for anything. And I remember one time, and I often wonder, was I doing the job right, you know? And one time me and my niece was going out to dinner, and she walked up to the door, and it was raining. She walked up to the door, I just knew she was going to open the door and run inside, you know, get a seat or whatever. She stood there and waited for me to come open that door for her, you know, because they were so used to me opening doors for them and stuff like that. So that really made me proud, you know, and
that's powerful. That's powerful. Let me see. Katrina, she said, Mr. and Mrs. Anthony Suggs saying, will y'all write a book together concerning the divine marriage of love? Y'all rock.
Thank you, Trina.
Yeah, we're waiting for. We have some things that have been dropped in our spirit. So we're just waiting to hear from God. We don't
That
just.
confirmation.
Yeah, we don't just move because a lot of people tell us that or we should do something. So we wait until God tells us to move.
And Katrina said, come on, Rodney, put your gloves on. The champ is on the show. Hey, hey, believe me, I'm 60 years old. I ain't trying I got my wife. I ain't trying to get nothing knocked out of place or put in a different perspective. I'm his friend.
And I'm 54. I ain't trying to put him on.
Yeah, hey.
Can't pay me to hit upside his head.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, and actually, because, as we move forward, because we actually got about 15 more minutes.
Okay.
Time flies when you're having fun. First of all, let me say this. I'll say, they will read it because the back of the book will make you open it. Okay?
Synopsis.
Okay, for all those that joined in and have just joined in, this is Real Talk Live with Rodney Grimes, people to people, power to power, positive people. I just, again, take this opportunity to use this platform to support another person from the community. I say that this is an opportunity for us to help build one another. So please do so. My guest today is Anthony Suggs and his wife, Regina. We were talking about the Beast Within, and that's his book. And I tell you, it's a must read. So please take this opportunity to purchase the book, get in touch with him if you don't have it, and read it and put it in your library, and let's help elevate it to the level where it should be. So, as I understand, you wanted to do some kind of tribute or something, so
yeah.
we can give a book away or something.
Well, first of all, I like to present you and your wife with this Iron Sharpen Iron T-shirt, because what I see in y'all is the true meaning of Iron Sharpen Iron. I see how she look out for you, how she ain't gotta be in the spotlight, she in the background, doing, but it's about, playing your position, playing your role, and helping to elevate each other, because if you win, she wins.
Yeah.
If she win, you win. Not worrying about who getting the spotlight or who in the front line, or but what I see the true meaning of Iron Sharpen Iron to you when I look at you and your wife in this show, people to people,
Power,
positive thinking people, PTP.
Okay.
But I want to present Rodney Grimes and Zena Grimes with this Iron Sharpen Iron T-shirt from me and my wife. Faith Journey. Go ahead, tell them. Faith Journey.
Faith Journey Custom Apparel.
So if y'all like to order one and then make
Yes. If they would, if anybody would like to order, they come in a variety of colors. You see the black that Rodney's holding, and also the blue. So, and they come in yellow, pink, and orange. So if you guys would like to purchase one, they're $20. You would, from the show, you would hit Rodney. You guys would inbox Rodney. We're all Iron Sharpens Iron. We're trying to help one another. $5 of the shirt will go towards his project, what he's trying to do with the equipment. So you guys help be supportive. We're in this together. We can all win. We either win or we all fail together.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, look at this. I love this. I can't wait to wear it. I love this, man. This is, first of all, let me tell you, I truly, truly appreciate this. I don't take this lightly. You're right. Iron sharpens iron, and my wife has been just that. I'm still learning to be a good man. I've had some trials and tribulations in my life I had to deal with. I've made mistakes, but a lot of us do. I'm not one to point the finger. I really don't care. I've let it all go. I went to God and said, God, forgive me. I have shared with my wife everything about me, okay? And, you know, and so when my wife had talked about some of the things that I've done that I wasn't really pleased about or whatever, and she said, baby, keep it moving. Because guess what? She's sharpening me. You feel me?
That's
and
right.
in return, what I do, I sharpen her.
That's
And
right.
so,
That's what it's about.
you know, I appreciate that, bro. Hey, we just put them, y'all see them knuckles together? Bang! That's what, that's love. That's what, we ain't trying to knock
Right.
each other out. We supporting one
That's
another.
right.
That's what that's about.
My fight is different today.
Yeah,
I ain't
my
no
man.
getting in the ring, hitting nobody, trying to knock nobody out.
Yeah.
It's about fighting to make this a better world.
So,
better community.
actually, sweetheart, I actually did write some shout outs that I got to grab from out the office. But, or can you do it? It's on the desk. And I'll take this opportunity to continue. Okay, Suggs, give us a demonstration of them hands. Oh, yeah, he already did. I saw him over there kind of, you know.
Hey, you know how some people tear a chair up dancing? Can I get my demonstration in the chair? Or do I need to stand up?
Look, she said, this question is for Suggs. I follow Mike Tyson. Do you think he will be better than before?
Heck no.
Will you return back to the ring?
Heck no. Double heck no.
He said,
If they give me that Mike Tyson type money, that money that they get for that exhibition, remember it's an exhibition, it's not a fight, so it's like a spawn section.
so it's not to really get it hurt each other.
And there's a no knockout clause in there, you know, so, and they getting paid a lot of money to spar, to put on
An
a spawn.
exhibition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So-
know, and no, I would never get back in there. You know, I thank God that He allowed me to walk away. You know, with the little sense I got. You know, it's been fun while I last. I met a lot of people. I got a chance, the opportunity to rub elbows with a lot of people, and it taught me how to fight as a man. You know, fight for life, put up the good fight, and that's what I'm doing today. That's what I love to do. That's what I want to do. But with that being said, I want to give away a free copy, an autographed copy of The Beast Within, Still the Champ. And I'm still the champ because I'm still doing the things I'm doing, like Men of Courage, going into the trenches, talking to the kids, into the jails, detention centers, starting programs, Men of Courage. What else? My wife can tell you better than me. Yeah, yeah. So I'm everywhere. Got to speak on a NAAC sports symposium. Urban League. You know, God is really using me, and I just pray that God don't stop now. You know, keep the ball rolling while it's rolling. But I like to give away one free book of The Beast Within. Tell me, how can I give it away?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. So what I wanted to do is this. I want somebody to tell me where that Tony moved from when he moved from Southeast, right? Was it Southeast? Did you say? Don't give it.
You just tell me. You just told me.
No. Move to. You moved from
Okay.
Southeast to
Okay.
where?
Okay.
And you mentioned that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so if y'all was listening, if somebody can tell me where he moved to, where did they move to as a family?
Don't say no more.
Okay, because so whoever can remember that conversation, if you put that in there, then you'll win the book. Okay, so again, what we want to do real quick while y'all thinking is, and y'all probably try to go back and look on that. We want to say, put some happy birthday wishes out.
To Boris Dancy, to Rhea Brown Harris, Maxine Waters, Tanya Brown, and happy heavenly birthday to Grandma Gretchen Rose Tucker Gwynn, actor Anthony Anderson, Juanita Price Cheeks, and Sam Winters.
I'm sorry, it wasn't Del Rey. It wasn't Del Rey. No, it wasn't Del Rey.
No, y'all wasn't listening. See, I expect Michael J to get it wrong. I had to get you back, Mike.
So yeah. And I'm telling you because I remember what you said. Don't make me win the book, but I already got 2 copies. So, but I want y'all to think back. He mentioned it.
No,
It wasn't Baltimore either. Come on now, come on.
We can welcome some people. We got
Okay,
a
go
lot-
ahead.
a lot of-
Go welcome some people and see if
There are a lot of
Hey,
people
hey,
listening. Somebody said he moved to
No.
Richmond, to Virginia.
no, it wasn't Richmond.
Lynn Nelson, Kimberly Wilson Lynch, Mark Durrett. What is that? Alexis Galloway, Marie Price, Yvette Gardner, Bernadette Felton, Katrina McMurray, Michael B. Thompson, Bridget Brown, Brenda Minnick, Michael Evans, Rachel, Angela Gomez, Pachicho Moreno, Rochelle Flood, Vicki Gray, Deborah Claire Sequist, Lisa Harris, Noah Jones, Bernard Jackson, Derek Smith, Callie Mae Terrell, Sharon McDonald, Bernadette Johnson Lewis, Gail Burr, Van Fazen Tinsley, Dwayne Shepard, Norman Fleet, Bonnie Holloman, Regina Young, Lewis and Marquita, Marie Price, I think I said already. So,
Hey, we welcome everyone. Now, I'm waiting for somebody.
Somebody said Lorden.
Lord is wrong. Sorry, Bridget.
Keep going. This is a good one.
Uh,
Welcome John Terrell, Michael Wanzer, Freddie Ward, Nina Hillary Bush. Real cancer. Nobody's guessing.
Yeah, see, that just shows you. My teacher always say you gotta pay attention. Sometimes when you're sitting in the classroom, it be that one little thing that's going to get you.
North Carolina.
No.
Oh wow. Oh, this is a good one.
This is good. Yeah, see,
I
y'all.
love it. It's tough.
I know. I know it. And you said it a couple of times.
Wow.
See, that's
South Carolina.
no.
That's where my mother's side from. But no, Bridget.
Okay, do you want to give him a hint? So they.
Woodbridge. Lynn's close.
Len got it. Len got it.
With Dale City. So
Yeah. But you had said
Oh,
Woodbridge. When you yeah. So
Dale City.
Oh, you got it. Yes.
Lynn, you gotta stop Lynn on
She listens and she
yeah.
Yes.
Lynn is very attentive to what goes on around her. And so Lynn, you won the book. You won the book, Lynn. Yeah.
Another autograph copy. She already have a copy. You want? Well, it'd be a good gift for you to give away.
Right. And what you talking to the TV?
I know.
Oh, oh.
Hey Gwen, that's okay. Hey, he all right.
Lynn always winning.
Oh wait a minute. Mike said donate the book.
That's up to Lynn. She won it.
Hey,
She wanna donate it.
Lynn won the book, so Lynn can do whatever she likes with the book. Hey, I just appreciate you, sweetheart, because you are amazing.
I appreciate Lynn too because, like she said earlier when she was speaking, she number one supporter. She been with me when I got my Lifetime Achievement Award, to the Men of Courage every year, to
It's just she's
everything
phenomenal, man. That's
Yeah.
why we honored her the other day, and it was an amazing. But let me tell you what I'm going to do as well, because I purchased 2 books, right? So that's going to be one of my giveaways in one of the upcoming shows, and you autograph both of them for me. So I'm going to use that as one of my giveaways as well. So we're going to keep,
She wants to give it to the youth detention.
Oh, she said to the Youth Detention Center. Okay, so
which one, Landmark or Fairfax, where Maria worked?
So Lynn, he want to know would it be Fairfax or Landmark, or does it matter? Said yeah, someone else she would give it to me. but she knows already.
I have one little feet left,
Oh,
sir.
okay. What she say? But she knows already. I have one little feet.
I have one little feet
Oh,
left.
okay. All right. So,
I thought Michael J had one. Thanks for your support, Michael J.
She said landmark.
she said landmark.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, that would be up to you how you want to do that. Actually, who do Maria work it?
You know, Maria was at Fairfax.
So,
But Lynn is saying Fairfax also. Landmark. And she's saying Fairfax.
I think that really she just really preferred that it actually belongs to get to one of them. So we can do that. But you can make sure that happens faster than I could. Okay. So Lynn, he's already committed to doing so. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who called in.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I just got a text. Michael J already got landmarks covered.
Okay. All right, Lynn.
Thank you,
Okay.
Tony. Thank you, Regina.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
man.
you, Regina. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
You're welcome, love.
Thanks, little feet.
All right, love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
All right, so this has kind of been a real special time for me because let me tell you, each time that I do this, something powerful comes out of it for me. First of all, I want to tell you that I have much respect for you.
Thanks, appreciate it.
You know, and you as his wife. Continue to respect your queen and continue to sharpen your king. And that's what we need to do. We got to get back old school. See,
Right.
back in the day, we had a lot of families that were close knit. Even though there was a lot of fighting in them, they still had that family thing going on. And where we are now is because we have experienced those things. I don't disrespect my wife. I don't cuss at her. My wife can get mad at me, and I can get real mad, and all I do is just try to go sleep in another room, but she won't let me do that. But I don't go back and call her names, or
Right.
I don't say something out of my mouth I can't take back.
Right.
I don't point my finger at her, and I don't talk down to her at all. And so, I just appreciate seeing the love between y'all two, and knowing that, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah,
Yes,
this my ride or die, this my back. I trust her, and being a kid going through the things that I've been through, I experienced in life. Trust don't come easy.
I know. You gotta earn it.
So right, and I trust her.
So this is Real Talk Live with Rodney Brown's people to people, power to power, positive people. Hey, guess what? We are out of time. But what I'm going to allow is Tony to have the last word. And he's going to tell you something that's going to motivate you, or he's probably going to tell you he's going to knock you out when he see you, or he's going to have the last word on the show.
It's you, and don't forget about the
Yeah, first of all, first thing I want to say, Rodney doing a marvelous, spectacular job here, doing what he's doing, promoting, elevating people from our community, and at least we could do is help them out, so brothers, a little bit or a lot, but anything you can spare, he's working out of his home, he got a nice thing going on, so, we got to learn how to support one another. So let's start today, let's start now, supporting one another. And I'm going to put a red man.
Uh-oh.
They give you a little something. I mean, it ain't much, but something, because I appreciate what you're doing, and
I appreciate that. So let me say this. God is good.
Thank you.
And let me tell you something, my brother. Whether it's $1, 10, 20, 30, or 100, or $1 million, because it could be a millionaire out there that want to do so. It is not for me. It is for us.
right, because you're doing a good thing
Yes.
with it. You helping other people. You helping to elevate, promote other people's businesses, and it's not too many people out there like that. And that's what we was talking about earlier in the show. Because somebody else think that, oh, Rodney think he doing something because he be on the, trying to pull you down because they not doing what you doing.
Yeah.
You know, everything that meant for them, God rests on your heart. And
a lot of people don't know it's not easy to put your life out there like that. They don't know what this requires for me and my wife. Man, we be in here stressing, man. We be in here trying to move things around.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you what's going to happen. I guarantee you, I've had people start to sow into this. Some people call it a ministry. If that's what you want to call it, then so be it. Because I'm just following what God tells me. But I do know this, that you're going to see as we move forward that for the ones who have already started to send in their donations to help us to get more equipment, you're going to see things starting to change within the next couple of weeks because I just want to say, I want to show you better than I can tell you.
Right.
So as you see things starting to change, you'll be like, oh man, look what he's doing now. I promise you that you're going to see that, and that's what's going to be so powerful because we're going to be able to continue to support one another. And let me tell you something, my brother. What you doing and your wife, that's worth more than money. You see? That right there, I'm so inspired. I can't wait till this thing is good so y'all can come over and we can sit out in my backyard. I got some grills back there, man. I'm trying to tell you, it's nice, okay?
Right.
Fire pit and some more stuff. And we fellowship and we do this as black men.
Right.
You know, men, I'm talking about, and we treat our ladies like women. You know, not like prostitutes and hoes and belittling them. We make y'all be the queens that y'all are. And for everybody out there that has really supported us, we thank you so much. Now, I got to do one more thing before I close out. This is to my brother Sam, Sam Winters. Sam is a quiet guy. Today is his birthday. And I want you to know, Sam, I appreciate you, brother. This is from your brother from another mother. I'm doing this because sometimes a lot of people don't know our stories. Sam's birthday is today, right? Sam is not an outgoing guy. And I'm putting your business out there a little bit. But he's a good guy.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And it takes us to sometimes put ourselves in a position and not be selfish and make it all about us. So I send you a special birthday wish, Sam, man. I love you, man. I appreciate you. I know that I can call you and that you will be there to assist me. And I pray to God will give you many, many more birthdays. Miss Regina, I love you, darling. You are a doll, baby. I am so glad that I've had this opportunity to meet you. You are always welcome in my home. My wife, I'm telling you, you sit down when you'll fall in love with her. She's a doll, baby. And this brother right here, hey man, I'm just telling you, man, I appreciate you, man. And you know, you're going to do bigger and better things. And plus, anyway, we're going to be doing some stuff together anyway. Because I got some stuff that's lined up down the line that I can't do without having your assistance. So,
Absolutely.
you know, I'm going to talk to you about it. I don't want to put the cat out the bag, but it's something that's really going to be real powerful. We can set it off. So we're going to be a strong example for these young guys because they're going to see guys like you and me that we've changed our life and we're moving in the way that God has intended for us to do so.
Because so many people say, man, I can't see you as a crackhead. Man, but I was one of the biggest crackheads, and then when I stopped smoking crack, I started selling crack, you know, and then became one of the biggest drug dealers. And then, but I know that's none of that was part of God's plan for me, you know. So I want to work more in God's will and not my own.
How you gonna tell somebody about something that you haven't experienced?
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
Exactly.
That's my point.
Exactly.
You see, you can't go to a drunk and tell them why you a drunk. Have you ever been one? But if you know, I don't want to. We going over a little time, but I gotta say this. I mentored schools. I did. I got certificates up there. I spoke in almost every school in the DMV. I'm telling you. At one time, they were starting to question, what was up with this guy that he had all these kids around him or whatever, you know? And what it was is that they don't know I was them.
Right.
See, they didn't understand. I used to walk in the classroom and there would be the boy over there sitting down, slouched down and whatever. Come to find out, guess what? He was coming to school tired because his mother and father
or his mom and boyfriend been up fighting all night. I ran into many guys like that and talked to them. And then when they told me, I told them my story, they break down and hug me and start crying. So my point is that, you know, we all have a story. We all have a story, but it's our duty to help one another, you know, and we lead by example. And I just want to say, you know, I see Katrina said it's a mission and a ministry. God has given the vision. I received that, and I just thank everybody that's out there that's, you know, really supporting us. Not me, us. It is people to people, power to power, positive thinking people. I thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed weekend and enjoy yourself and keep God first. Appreciate you, brother. My man.